I'm a living example of you can get punched in the face and get back up, because I'm the modern day Aztec warrior.
I'm spitting it heavy, the mission is steady. Your bitches are jelly, I'm ditching the petty. You're digging for pennies, I'm itching and ready. I open my heart when I listen to Shetty. I'm bold like a boss, but I'm little like Debbie. I know what the boss, I got Richard and Getty. I'm holding the guap and I'm whipping the Yeti. Yeah, Kari can play with advanced moves. I'm fucking my girl and her man too. I'm taking the ball like the Rand do. My soul is the one that I can't lose. I soak up the sun like a sand dune. I'm holding up love with the bamboo. I'm rolling the blunt by the candle. Taking the game, running it back without taking a drink. Yeah, I'm the one and I'm making a wave. Rolling the blunt and I'm blazing a J. I'm escaping the brain, go straight for the cake. I'ma take to the pain, not taking a break. I'm made for the race, I pray for the day. I wake with a bake in a great estate. Are you living in a box? I'm bigger than a box. I'm spitting to supply my bread. My vision on the top is living like a boss when I kick it in a nice white jet. I'm quicker with the bars, I'm wishing with a one. Yeah, I'm dipping to the bar, I guess. I'm switching like LeBron when I spit it in song. My mission is to try my best. Taking a stab, but I came with a bad. I be chasing to grab my goals. If you ain't in the back and you ain't with the facts, don't be faking and act like bros.
Welcome back to your favorite part of Tuesday, MMA Underground, and I'm one half the dynamic duo known as Buddy V, killing with the one and only Sam.
Sam K. And man, we got a great show in store for y'all tonight. Two phenomenal guests, all the way from StreetBeefs West Coast, a young legend, a young rising star. We have the one, the only, Island Strong.
Happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
All the way from StreetBeefs Dirty South. Yes, we have the one, the only, the challenger, Patrick Griffin. How we doing?
Pretty good. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Excellent. I'm excited, man. Down south guest too. Woo! We've been waiting for some more.
Long time coming, man. Long time coming.
Now, I was going to start off with the challenger. I was curious because I was looking through. I found so you have 2 fights in StreetBeefs. Or what's up? Or did you have a few more that I was missing?
I have 1 fight in the main StreetBeefs yard, and I have 5 fights in the Dirty South yard. The very first win that I got, the video footage got stolen, so that is nowhere to be found.
Jeez. Okay. Damn. I'll have to look a little harder. Then I couldn't find a few of them. Damn. All right.
Yeah, man. Dirty South just released a ton of fights lately. I think a lot of those fights were lost footage fights, if I'm not mistaken. Guys who are watching, go check out StreetBeefs Dirty South. Like, subscribe. They got a lot of fighters out there, a lot of bangers out there.
And I know that Island Strong had a killer ass fight recently. I watched it, man, twice. I was like, do you want to let everyone know who your opponent was and how that kind of played out for you? Because I loved it.
Can you hear us?
My bad, you hella cut out. You said let them know who?
Oh, I said just let them know who your opponent was and how you enjoyed your fight with your opponent.
I follow a guy named, his name is Apex Underdog. He's a cool cat, man. Yeah, he edits a lot of the highlight videos that you'll see on Facebook and stuff. He, for what it's worth, man, he can really fucking crack. He didn't land a whole lot of punches on fucking crack. He got some power behind those punches. He had me 1 good body shot, so yeah, he can crack for sure. Can't wait to see him come up next.
Yeah, no, that was a fun fight to watch. Yeah, I was curious because it was like, yeah, you got him real good. You got him with an 8 count in that first round. I think the second round, he caught you kind of close till the end of the round. I was like, oh, man. Going into the third round, I was at the edge of my seat. Like, oh.
When my cardio started giving out, man. My first round, I approached it kind of technical. And then going into the second round, I kind of knew, like, I got the upper hand, and then I kind of like throwing a lot more power shots. And then that wasn't really working for me. So the third round, you can kind of tell that I kind of started going back technical. I started getting too tired. And he saw that in my face, and he took advantage of it. I thought he was going to do more.
I definitely could see that. Hey, Ryan, you are hilarious, bruh. I did not say that, Island Strong, but Ryan, you're hilarious, bro.
I think Cash
Hilarious.
is bigger than me. No, is she like a I want to say like 160, 175?
About 160, yeah, about 160.
Yeah, no, that's too big
But
for me. She kicked the fuck out of me. I'm cool.
but honestly, man, your performance against Apex is what made me reach out to you for this interview tonight. I was very impressed, like I told you then. Very impressed with your performance, man.
Thank you.
One thing that was obvious was no problem. One thing that was obvious was that you've been working and you've been getting technical, and you look like a boxer. You know, you've always been a fighter, but that day you really look like a boxer. What's been going on in training?
Well, first and foremost, people know that I don't really like sparring, so I tried to do a lot more sparring in this training camp, I guess you could call it. And I've been going really hard on cardio too. Not a whole lot of running, but I've been hitting that jump rope really hard. I've been going longer rounds on the bag, like I think 3.5 minute rounds on the bag, and I do like 6 rounds in the bag, and I'll do 3 rounds of jump rope, and then 2 rounds or 3 rounds of shadow boxing, like to warm up. So yeah, I've just been working really hard on my cardio and trying to get a little more sparring in than normal.
Ghost, what's up?
Nice. No, yeah, you came out. I was gonna say the first few minutes, the only word I would describe of your fighting style is crispy. I was just like, okay.
Crispy. Like that.
Challenger too. What with your training and stuff with your background, I was kind of asked. You train a little at home. You train at a gym too, or what is your background looking at? Because obviously, I'm missing a few of your fights too. Oh man.
Mostly backyard training. I try to get into the gym as much as possible. Not any specific gym. I bounce around from gyms just to get a lot of sparring, a lot more experience with other fighters. But I know I need to lock down and get in a gym and stay in a gym and keep working in the gym. That's where I'm gonna get the best at. So, but mostly as of right now, I've been mostly in my backyard.
Hell yeah.
And what about you, Challenger? What's your training looking like? What's your fight background looking like?
Honestly, I'm a self-trained boxer that doesn't have a lot of training. I just go out there and throw hands for fun. But after this last event, I wanted to step it up and put some real training under my belt and get a few more wins and hopefully be the first 125 boxing champion in the Dirty South Yard.
I like it. I like it.
What is I was just gonna say, I feel like you solidified what my doctor told me because he's from Texas and he's like, all I know is boys from down south love to fight and they don't play. And I was like, I feel like you just.
That's true.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that down here that really like to fight. Problem is just having them travel all the way to Texas.
Right. I was actually going to ask you, what is for the people who don't know, because the Dirty South branch is a fairly new branch. What is it like going to one of these Dirty South events? How would you describe?
Man, it's completely different for somebody that's never been to a fight event, not knowing what to go into. They might be a little nervous and everything, but we welcome everybody like family members there. We try to get to know most people, talk about their background, try to make it best as possible. We just recently, Cody got full rights to the branch. So we're going to try and grow it as big as possible this year. We will be doing a few things a little differently. I'm not sure what all, they are small. I think this was our 7th one we had.
Okay.
I'm not too, there's 2 that I missed. So yeah.
And about how many fights per event do you guys typically have?
See, this last one we had about 15 to 20 fights.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. I think the most we've had maybe 30. I could be wrong on that.
Decent numbers. Decent.
Yeah. For starting
I want to down fight down there.
So that's pretty solid amount of fights for early events.
There's a lot of scrappers down south, man. A lot of scrappers down south.
Hell yeah, there is.
I just wish you guys were able to have more events more frequently, but I understand with the organization, and then so many different states involved,
Yes.
it's a process, but Dirty South is growing for sure. Dirty South is definitely growing.
Yes, I'm very excited to see where we can make it.
No, that's gonna be fun. And growing stuff, we always gotta ask our guests. Do you think you might find yourself traveling to some of the other yards here soon this year coming up, 2024? It's a new year. You got 10 months left.
Sure. I would definitely like to go back to the OG yard and possibly both other yards this year if my funds permit that.
Right.
That's right. That's exactly. That's the hardest part is getting there. Like even just like getting from California to Arizona for Widows events is a challenge for me.
Yeah.
So being able to get to the scrap yard, to the Dirty South, even the OG yard would be a fucking blessing. That's the goal. The dream is to make it all the yards, but as of now, the realistic goal is to try to get to the scrap yard. I really would love to fight out there. I love that cage.
Oh, it's fun. It's definitely fun. I always tell people it's like a video game. I like the fact that every yard has a different style cages, and I like how each one has different trials and tribulations. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Each yard has different, something cool, something different to offer.
Yep. Character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Top moments from a yard though has to be when Malik Ogun and E7 went through that cage at the West Coast, man. That's still,
man.
That's easily top like 3, top 2, number
Yeah.
1 for me.
Yeah.
Who would I want to fight? That's a good question, man. I don't really know like the weights, and everyone's a different weight. It's hard to tell on the screen. But I heard someone say I think there's someone named Turtle out there. I think I remember checking out the fights, and I think that's probably one that I remember him first of all, and I would definitely take that fight.
That's a good fight.
That's good, right? Well, he's like right around 135.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm like 140, 145, so that would be perfect.
I'd even say Lights Out, the champ over there. That'd be a good fight too.
I want that. I'll take any fight I can get in scrapyard shit. I'll just be happy to be there.
And challenge, what you think you might want to get from scrapyard or another branch?
I'm honestly not sure. Anybody really? Sometimes it's hard to find people in my weight class, so sometimes I got to fight a few weight classes up, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You said 125?
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. See, I got to drop. I'm trying to drop to like 140, but man, food's too good, man.
Right?
Bro.
The hardest part is fucking eating right and not eating fucking fast food all the time.
Feel that.
I've been looking at my stomach lately like, man, I got to get it together, man. I got to get it together.
Right.
Speaking of which, do you guys take that in consideration when training for a fight, like diet?
Yeah, definitely I take into consideration. It depends on like if I have to drop a lot of weight. Like for this last one, Apex was 145, and I walk around to like 140, 145, 150. So that really wasn't much of a problem. But when I was like fighting Wama, that was when I had to like really cut out like all of the fat shit, because Wama was like fucking 125, 130.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really had to take my diet seriously for that fight. So it really just depends on the fight I'm going into.
What about you?
I honestly have not. I've not really prepared for many fights that I've had in yards. But like I said, after this last event, I've really seen a lot that I should work on. And cardio and endurance, I believe, is my biggest thing. I feel like I gas out way too early.
Me too. Me too.
Hell yeah. You guys ever...
all of us.
It's like
every time someone says cardio, I hear something. Cardio is key. Cardio is key. Cardio is key.
Yep.
The question I did have for both y'all was, fuck. Why am I spacing? Oh my god. Oh yeah, having the fights in the yard and having this and that. Do you guys ever go back and rewatch any of your fights, whether for fun or to help you with your training or whatnot, or do you just go out there, you train, and you just fight and that's it?
You want to take this one?
I'm sorry. What was the question again? I was reading what popped up.
Oh shit. Well, I'll talk it. Yeah, we'll answer that one after. Hell yeah. Do you ever watch your fights, whether it's for fun or to like study for training, or do you just you don't really want to rewatch any of your fights?
Oh yes, for sure. I love watching my fights. It really shows me a lot that I could work on and potential ways that I could have won those fights. I believe that we should all study our fights and training, whether we want to show other people or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I'll watch it back just like first of all like to watch it for fun to see like what I did good, like oh look at that, I watch my highlights, But then after that when I'm like training, I'll watch it back for educational purposes to see what I did wrong, see what I gotta correct. But most of the time it's just to watch it for fun because it's just fun to watch myself like in fights like that. But yeah, I definitely watch for to learn from it and see like what I could have done. Like when I watch it, every fucking fight I've ever done, I'll look at something and be like, oh, I should have done this or I could have done that. And I try to work on that and try to cut that down as much as I possibly can.
Yeah. And for a lot of people who aren't aware, man, you've been with the West Coast for a while, Island Strong, racking up fights. It won't be long before you're in the Hall of Fame, getting that jacket. But you've also fought outside of Street Beefs. I've seen street fights with you, as well as other organizations that you fought with. Can you talk about a little bit of the other organizations as well as some of the street fights?
I don't know if I can talk about the street fights, but
then we don't have to touch it. Then we ain't got to touch it.
Well, we'll say this: I get down with anybody. But the other organizations I fought, I fought in Ceres, California for his name is Sleeper J Promotion. He holds pretty good events. This next event is gonna be like he's gonna have like strippers and shit and like a full service bar and shit like that. It's gonna be lit. It's kind of one of those events, underground.
Okay.
And then I also fought for UBL Underground Brawlers League. I had an MMA fight out there, and that was 1 week after I fought Handsome Blue Devil. So I kind of was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try it again. And that one actually went the distance went the distance at 3 rounds. And I gotta say, every other organization I've been to is nothing like StreetBeefs. StreetBeefs is the best place I've ever been to. It's so welcoming, everyone there is so inviting, so friendly. StreetBeefs is hands down the best place I've ever fought at. That's why I like coming back.
I was just saying, Challenger, you have any fun street fights or fun times that you might want to bring up, that you might want to say, or nah?
Honestly, I don't. Never really got into a whole lot of fights.
All right, I can dig it. That's my favorite. There's I can't remember the gentleman, but we had one gentleman on where he was like 5-0, 4-0, and he was like, "Yeah, I've never been in a fight in my life. Like, I never did anything like that." And I was just like, "Oh shit, okay." But man, I'm trying to think. He was, yeah.
There's some fighters like that. Some fighters are in the UFC don't even fucking like fighting. Like Ricky Tercios, he said on the Ultimate Fighter that he's like, I don't even fucking like fighting. It's scary, but I'm good at it.
Hell yeah! Next time I feel like a kick ass.
Yeah, fighting's definitely fun for me, but in my opinion, it's the best conversation that you can have with somebody.
Oh yeah,
you get to feel their blood, sweat, and tears, and how much time they put in their training.
Yeah, and they respect you more too. When they know you're a fighter, they're like, "Oh shit, you do MMA?"
Yes.
You see like it wash over their face, like they start to look at you kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any other favorite fights? Having having a few in the yard and whatnot, and in different areas. Do you have one that really stands out to yourself that you kind of are proud of?
I gotta say the Wama fight because that one I only had 2 fights against the 0-0 guys, and I kind of got that fight kind of almost immediately. He was actually supposed to be my second opponent, but he had like work or something that day, so I was excited and I was just honored just to share the cage with him. Same with Sad Lee. I was watching Sad Lee before I even hit the scene. He was my favorite fighter before I even was even over here. So just to share the cage with those guys, it was just a fucking honor, man.
Bangers too. Those 2 fights. I mean, damn. You really pushed Wama too to his limits. I think I don't think I've seen Wama get pushed to that extreme before. So
yeah, he threw up in between round 1 and 2.
Yep.
Yeah,
crazy.
Let's keep going.
Challenger, I wanted to ask you, bro. You mentioned earlier that you weren't really doing fighting outside of Street Beefs. So How did you get involved with Street Beefs, and why do you continue to fight with Street Beefs?
Okay, so I knew a few guys from Hot Springs that tried to start a little fight club down there. They had one event, had like 2 or 3 little fights. The Dangerous and Justin, the brawler, was there, and they tried to set a few more up. And then time went on, and Cody, Nasty Native, decided that he was going to hold some in Hot Springs. And I was like, all right, interested in it. Traveled down there, done 2 events, and then they started to shut us down. The fight commission couldn't make any money off of us, and they fined Cody like $6,000 and basically put him on like probation and where he couldn't fight. And then, yeah,
remember that.
Times. And Lincoln, I don't know if y'all know him or remember him.
The original.
Yeah, before the Street Beefs name, and we merged with them, and then Cody got it. But it's just, I feel like Cody is a very good person to follow, fight-wise, fight knowledge. You know, he knows a lot of people. He's had plenty of fights.
Yep.
So, I mean, he's always treated me good as a fighter, and every other fighter that I've known that's came to the yard and came to him.
Shout out Nasty Native, man. The ex-double champ of West Coast.
Yes.
Current branch leader of the Dirty South.
It's crazy how sometimes like the most people who could do the most damage or some of the most dangerous warriors are the most friendliest or sometimes the most welcoming too. And it's like, though, the loudest people are always the ones that you're like, oh yeah, that guy yelling back there, he ain't gonna do shit.
Right. Those are the guys that like to fight.
Give us a fight. That that would be insane, because that is right. The Terrifier is going pro. He just had his last fight at the West Coast, and if they're both pro, man, if I saw the Terrifier and Nasty Native fight, I would definitely pay for that ticket. Would you guys pay to see that?
Oh, yeah.
That's pay-per-view worthy for sure.
But I know right now Cody's having some problems with his shoulder. His last 2 fights. His shoulder popped out of place his last fight on a Real Deal Championship. So he may not take an MMA fight for a little while. I'm not sure on that, but I know he said he really wanted to focus on boxing and let his shoulder heal up some.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Injuries.
Yeah, they're.
Well, you know, to segue off of that, man, speaking of like styles, do you guys have any specific styles that you that you favor?
Yeah.
Not really. I just go in there and kind of just do what I've been training. I really focus on
boxing, kickboxing. We've seen you do MMA. Yeah.
Okay, just boxing.
Boxing.
Boxing. I do a little bit of kickboxing on the Bob bag, but most part just boxing. I don't have any of the thoughts of entering an MMA fight anytime soon right now.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
What about you?
I've always loved boxing. I've always wanted to learn Muay Thai and Wing Chun. This year, I would like to do at least 1 kickboxing and 1 MMA match in the Dirty South Yard, just to say that I've done those, regardless how they go.
Yep. Yeah. That's why I want to do MMA, just so I can say I don't do MMA. I can't really call myself an MMA fighter yet because I lost both those fights, but I'm glad I did it.
Yeah,
that's what it's about, man.
And I was gonna say, because you were talking about how Cody had that shoulder injury, was if you guys have ever had to sustain a major injury, even a minor injury. I love talking about how in one of my fights with Scrappy, I broke my hand. I got a screw put through the whole thing. I was out for like 9 months. Luckily, I'm right-handed.
Yeah, I believe we did have a few injuries. In one of our fights, I don't remember who it was, but I believe they had their leg broken. Leg kick, I think it was. Yeah, it was pretty nasty. I think broke one of their fingers. It may have been Kevin, but I'm not for sure on that. I think it was when Kevin fought Thunder Dragon for the title.
I think I just posted that fight last week for the Fire 5.
I know Thunder Dragon. I watched him when he first hit the scene. That guy was the real deal. He's a hell of a kickboxer.
I believe that they're going to do the rematch at their next event, but I'm not for sure on that. I think I seen something about it.
Okay. Be looking out for it for sure.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I'd be like, man, let me get a metal plate, screw it together, go check kicks with that in my leg. I'm not breaking it.
That upper edge, huh?
Yeah, hey, I feel like that what kind of scares me away from MMA. Like seeing like those kind of injuries, and I seen one. I think it was PFL. He threw an overhand and hit like right here, and his eye came out of the socket. That's
no.
I was like, fuck, that happens. That kind of shit happens. What the fuck?
Oh man,
yeah, that was nasty.
Crazy shit. Real quick, guys. Go ahead and let us know, how did we get our fight names? Where did that come from?
You want to go first?
I'll take this one. Yeah, my dad got a tattoo on the back of his arm that says "Island and Strong" on the back of it, and that's kind of like his thing that he said, because he's from the islands. He's from Guam. He grew up in Guam and then moved to San Jose when he was like 16, and that's kind of just his thing, Island Strong, because he grew up on the islands. He takes a lot of pride in that, you know. And I kind of just took it and kind of ran with it. that's all his thing, though. That's all my dad's shit. I'm not from the island. I grew up in California, man. I'm a suburb kid.
Shout out, Dad.
Yes, sir.
Yup.
So my fight name, the Challenger, isn't just for fighting, but life in general, as to take every challenge that you can, and always try to be a student, you know. So I would always tell people, even if one day I become a champion, I'm still going to have the challenger mindset. Never stop growing.
I like that. Hell yeah.
Yours is way cooler than mine.
I saw hard in the fight. I had to ask a question a little bit ago before I got too far ahead. If you had a favorite StreetBeefs fighter or any favorite fights that you want to let people know about.
You can take this one first.
I think my favorite fight was my last one with Sleepy Jr. And the only reason is I went out there and I boxed like a boxer for the first time in any of my fights, instead of just going out there throwing hands and basically hoping to win.
Oh, that's nice.
What you?
I think my favorite fight is, I gotta say, it's the one that I show people the most. When I fought 505 Conqueror, I just think that's the most dominant performance I've ever had. And then whenever people like ask to see my fight, that's always the one I send them. And I think he has a favorite fighter too. My favorite fighter in StreetBeefs is a tie between Earthling 7 and your boy Juice. Earthling 7 for entertainment purposes, because every time he's in a fight, you know some weird shit's about to happen. He's gonna say some weird shit. He's gonna like circle around the fucking cage or something. I don't know. He's gonna do some weird shit. And I'm always on my toes for those fights. And your boy Juice is just an excellent boxer. I had nothing for him.
Brothers.
Yep, that's right. And I gotta give an honorable mention to Sad Lee too, because he's always been one of my favorite fighters.
Sad Lee's a good fighter. I like his.
Yeah. All three.
I was curious, Island Strong, because this has been eating at me. Okay, forgive me if it wasn't you, but in some of your boxing matches, your first ones, did you have a white shirt with a red bow tie?
My second fight, that was a Halloween event, and I dressed up like SpongeBob.
Okay. I was trying to figure out
cargo shorts, the long socks with the stripes on it, and the red bow tie, and I had the name tag that said, "Hello, my name is Island Strong," and I also had a custom crab hat that I had to take off when I was hurt.
All right, I see. It was in the back of my head, and I couldn't find the fight. I was looking. I was just like, "Oh, I gotta ask him." But I was like, "If it's not him, that's embarrassing, man."
No, you're good. Now, a fun fact about that fight: that guy that I fought was my corner man. That was the event I was supposed to fight Wama, and and my cornerman had to step up because we would have basically drove fucking 9 hours for nothing, for no fight. So he kind of just like bit the bullet and got in the ring and did that shit. So shout out to my boy Lee Anthony or Iron Viking. He really did that. He did not have to do it. We already knew the advantage that like we already knew kind of what was gonna happen. So I make him last as long as he could.
Yep. I remember that moment, that day, that fight for sure.
Yeah, we waited all day for Walmart to pull up, and it was last fight of the day, and it was like, all right, it's either we do this now or we're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Definitely been there.
Got step up.
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. So, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
I'll talk good. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I'll go after.
I was like, I'll keep getting these good questions in my head, and I'm about to ask them. I space real quick, and they come back to me a split second later. I'm like, shit, because I know I was gonna ask you guys each little something, but fuck. See, that's what happens, you guys, when you smoke weed. Marijuana affects the memory. Most of the time, it's good. I'm hitting here and there, and then I'm kind of like, oh shit. So that was my bad.
That's happened to me every single day. My girl get pissed off because I can't remember shit. I just fucking told you.
Right?
Hilarious.
That makes a perfect question because what's your guys' stance on weed and training or within fighting? Because I know personally, I'll smoke while I train, but I don't smoke on fight day, until after the fight. But what is your guys' stance on that?
I am definitely an avid smoker. I do smoke every day. I don't smoke a whole lot, but I smoke more than I would like to. I don't think that it would affect training so much if you would do more cardio than the output that you would smoke, since it does affect your cardio. I've always smoked on fight day. I've never been clean for a fight. The one time that I did to get clean for a fight, I ended up having some seizures, unfortunately. Yeah, crazy. But once I got on some CBD oil and started smoking back, everything quit, which is always a plus.
Seizures are terrifying.
But that is the main reason that I do smoke now.
I'm also an avid smoker. I smoke every day. I wake up and I kind of just like I'm ready to smoke. I tried my first couple of fights. I tried not to smoke. I don't think I smoked before those fights, and then after that, I kind of I didn't really care as much. But I try not to smoke too. I don't want to walk into a fight like faded. I don't want to get like smoking an entire blunt, or I don't want. I'll hit a blunt maybe. I'll take a couple hits, and then I'm cool off that. If I got a fight going, I'm about to go into a fight. I don't like to get hyped for a fight.
Definitely.
All through training camp, I don't cut nothing out.
Stay medicated.
Yep, that's right.
Brian, thank you in the comments. I just hit the bong, and I remembered my question I was going to ask. Hey!
Yeah.
See how that works?
It was for Island Strong, so I was actually curious. Having evolved so much as a fighter and seeing your skills, really start taking leaps onto new platforms and plateaus, was there any fighter that you had taken a loss to that you would maybe like to rematch at one point in the future? Or do you just kind of like, you don't really rematch?
I know I definitely want that belt, so I know I'm gonna have to go through Juice at one point or another. So I definitely need that back with Juice. If I don't beat Juice, I need to avenge myself for what happened last time. I got stopped in the first round. I got busted up nose. I just want to just do better than that. I can't go out like that. I gotta fight him one more time, and I gotta at least put on a show, go the distance with them if I can. But the goal, I really want that belt, so I gotta get that back with Juice. And maybe Wama too, because that one was pretty close, and they kind of wanted to give it to a draw, but I think they gave it to me because I had more power shots. So I got if not Juice, I kind of want to run it back with Wama.
That's a stretch with Wama, and I love you, Wama. We miss you, Wama. We miss you. He was actually at the event last time, but no, it was the last event of the year he was at. But yeah, man, those are two great fights for sure.
Oh shit!
What about you, Challenger?
Uh, I would love to do rematches with all my previous opponents. I did have 2 matches with Dustin the Brawler, and both of those. The first one was a tie. The second one, which we don't count that because that was down in Hot Springs before we switched over. The second one, I got I believe it was a third round finish, 3 knockdown rule. But I heard that Zacchaeus Kennedy was dropping down to 125 sometime, and which I know he is a very good fighter, one of the most technical fighters that I have actually seen on StreetBeefs, in my opinion. But I believe if I trained up and took it seriously, that would be the best fight that I could take currently.
Okay.
Like that. And I was a little curious because I believe it was your fight against Wanga or Wanga in the Dirty South. He was a little.
I do not remember what his name is. Unfortunately, that was my last opponent on the 27th of this month or last month.
Yeah.
What was your question about that?
Well, I was gonna ask if you felt that because he looks like he was a little bit taller and had more of a reach. Do you feel like you had to work a little harder because you still were in there? You were very nice with your boxing. You were just making sure that you were dealing just as much damage for every punch taken. You made sure you dealt one. I was really impressed with the way you fought. But I felt like that little bit of reach. Did you feel like you had to really just like work just a little harder to get around that?
Yeah, I appreciate that. First of all, second. Yes, the reach is always a problem with me since I am a shorter fighter. My cardio is not the best. I do tend to do a whole lot of movements, which it does slow me down at first. But I did notice, I believe he is the very first southpaw that I've fought in StreetBeefs. He had fought southpaw majority of the fight, and I didn't know that until after Cody had posted the videos. Because during the fight, I was wondering, why am I not being able to do so much inside work and just getting wrapped up? So it did put a little bit of mental block in there, not going to lie.
Yeah. No, it was a fun fight to watch. And yeah, I think I noticed that because there was once or twice where like you would go to dip or like your hand would go slightly, but because he was right there, it was that quick little bloop, and he just caught you a few times where it was like it was so close. I was like, oh man, dang.
Yeah.
It was a good fight. And Brick's gonna watch all these guys' fights.
You gotta train with someone who's southpaw, you know?
Yes.
Or someone who can switch stance, you know.
I know I could make up a lot of excuses, but the truth is there's really no gyms around me within about a 30-45 minute drive. And I don't have anybody around me that's willing to train unless I travel, like I said, 30 minutes to 2 hours. So being in an apartment complex by myself tends to get me down on training some.
That's a stretch. 30 minutes to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, don't be discouraged, bro. There's always an opportunity and a way to train, no matter what type of equipment you have, what type of people you have or not. There's something you can do even in the corner space of a room. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro, don't be discouraged, but also too, like, whatever your end goal is, you also have to know, like, what do I have to do to reach that? You know, if you want to be a champion with the belt, it's going to require X, Y, Z, you know? So, it's just weigh it out on, put it on the scale and weigh it out, and see.
Yeah, I did find that I do have a pull-up bar that is a 3-contact pull-up bar. And I just recently ordered me a slip bag and a 56-pound aqua heavy bag, so I could get at least some work inside my apartment.
Yeah, that works. That works.
The equipment I have.
And I'm sure there's somebody in that entire complex you could find a spar. I'm sure of it. I'm sure. And And then push come to shove, there's YouTube, bro. Get on some, on some free videos.
That's how I do it. I got get a lot of my shit off Instagram and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a heavy bag? Or did you say you had like a water bag or something, Island Strong? Or
I use a bob bag, and then I also got like a red like Everlast bag. I use just kind of like the I don't know. I don't really use anything specific on it. I just got it.
is it like the heavy bag, like the nylon one or whatever?
It's not really a heavy bag. It's like one of them little cheap ass $100 bags that you find at Dick's. You know what I'm talking about? It was my first bag I ever got. I got it when I was 16, and then I just kind of felt like that wasn't enough. And then I got the bob bag when I was like 18, and I really like that.
Yeah, Bob is dope for sure.
It's right. It gets you good punch accuracy because it got the chin, the jaw.
Yep.
I think my favorite video on Instagram with Bob was it went viral for a minute. It was like some younger girl. She did it to where she like slapped the dude in the face and like reached it back and smacked it. I was like, what the hell is this shit? And like it was over my feet. Yeah.
Yeah. He fucking pulls it back and he yells at it. And then she like throws it on the ground and then like queefs on it.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one. Island Strong.
Poor
I'm curious.
Bob.
Have you ever had to deal with somebody that had a reach advantage as well, or fought southpaw? Do you fight orthodox or?
Yeah, orthodox. Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like most of the guys I fought were southpaw. Wama was southpaw. I think Juice was southpaw. Apex was southpaw. And Apex was the last fight. Like out of my last like 3 or 4 fights, Apex was the only guy that was ever shorter than me. Sadly, he had a reach. Juice had a reach. Yeah. Wama felt like he had a reach. Yeah, almost all of my. I'm almost always the shorter guy.
Facts.
Let's talk about bring smoke.
What do you feel? What do you feel advantages you have, knowing that typically you're the smaller guy? A lot of times that puts you at a disadvantage. But I feel like when you do it so often, you make an advantage out of it.
Yeah, I think that is actually what gives me the advantage because I only fight taller guys. So like, I think I'm just my experience in fighting. Like even most of my street fights, I think all my street fights have always been against bigger guys because like I'm the fucking smaller guy, so they think like I'm gonna whoop this little motherfucker's ass. You know what I mean? And I'm just so used to fighting the taller people my entire life. I'm just so used to it. It doesn't really bother me.
You feel like you have any advantages being a little bit of a shorter fighter, challenger?
Yeah, I believe that I can get in quicker on the inside when I'm not having as many problems and I'm feeling confident in myself. And with a lot of head movement at the beginning. My main thing that I do want to work on, though, is defensive combos with head movements and cutting angles.
I like that. Get it crisp, get it clean.
Yes.
And there's plenty of information. Say it again.
I find myself getting in, doing a combo or something, and just standing there, like almost admiring my work.
Oh yeah, that's where I fuck up.
Not the most there.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. But I did that against Walmart, and it's just very obvious when I did it. Yeah, I would have my back against the fence, and I went like, and he hit me with a 1-2 and a body shot, and yeah, you can't do that.
I was gonna say there's plenty of information online that goes specifically over what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Plenty of information. Is just a matter of putting in the reps, putting in the time, doing it over and over and over.
Repetition is key. I know. Island Strong, real quick. I know Bricks asked a couple question marks too. He asked if you ever fought Blanco.
I did not fight Blanco.
No, we know what that's about. He know he ain't fought no Blanco. Come on.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. I know Blanco is kind of good.
No.
That's about something else, buddy. That's about
cool.
Yeah.
Oh man,
He fell for
So,
it. Yeah.
dang. See, that's what I get because I try to look at everything all at once. I'm like, oh shit. All right. Now,
Yeah.
I haven't asked this one in a while because it's been a bit. But do you guys have a favorite fight movie or fight show that you like to watch or that you like to recommend to people?
Oh yeah.
I have a few couple ones that I really enjoy. One of my favorites I say is Netflix right now, Furiosa. I think it's Russian or something like that. But my favorite part is like these guys get up and they meet together in the forest. There's different scenes where they all fight like groups of like 30, 40 of them, full bare knuckle in the forest, this and that. And even once or twice, there's like a part where some young guys are trying to get bats and weapons and like, fuck no, that's not how we do it. We're all fists right now. If you can't be man enough about that, you don't deserve to be
What's
here.
that called?
And I'm just like, oh. And it's cool because they all walk around with mouth guards in their pocket. So anytime something happens in public, they pull their mouth guard out and they just start beating ass. I'm like,
That's
hella
dope.
lit. What's that movie called? That sounds hella lit.
Yeah.
Furiosa. Furioza.
Is it in different language?
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
foreign film.
Yeah, they probably
Okay.
have
It sound like it. It sound like it.
I don't really watch a lot of fight movies. A lot of fight movies I watch or I've seen are like kind of like low budget or like not my style. The only fight movie I really like is Here Comes the Boom. I love that movie. I watched that movie 100 times. I love that. I love the fuck out of that movie. That's the only really fight movie I really know. I also watched this one TV show on Netflix, I think, with these two Chinese dudes were boxers, and like they're like best friends living together. And I don't really know. I don't really remember it, but that's the only thing I can remember. Only thing I can that resembles that.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Man, I've always enjoyed the Ip Man series. Y'all have ever seen that?
Yeah.
That's a good movie right there.
The Bruce Lee's. I love me some Bruce Lee movies. Enter the Dragon. I love Bruce Lee. Those fight clips. I would watch them for in class instead of paying attention with my laptop. I would be watching Bruce Lee clips and StreetBeefs.
Yeah.
Oh.
But here lately, I've honestly been watching a lot of Hajime no Ippo, the anime. Y'all ever looked at that?
Nah, I'm not too into the anime.
I know what you're talking about. It's a boxing anime. I wish I was more into it. I've only seen little bits and pieces here and there, but
check that one out too. I've heard about I've heard about it once or twice.
Tank.
Tank in the house.
Dang. So damn. Okay. And yeah, I saw that King Kai. I've never watched that movie Gladiator with Cuban Gooding Jr., but I want to. That one looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
You watched it?
Past it. No, I've never seen it, but I scrolled past it, and I've been wanting to actually check that out. Yeah.
I was thinking Raging Bull with
classic. Robert De Niro.
Yeah, Robert De Niro. Yeah, I haven't watched that one. I want to though. That's a okay, and then I'll give you guys one more good one. It's American, but it's like set in the UK. It's got Elijah Wood in there. But have you ever heard of Green Street Hooligans?
It kind of does sound familiar,
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
It's definitely a good movie. Essentially, each soccer team has a giant bar with a following that follows the team wherever they go, and all these guys meet up. And after the game, all these guys from each bar, when they meet in the streets, they end up having these big ass fights the night before or the night after the game in the street. And yeah, that's essentially the whole movie. Like they all have normal jobs, they do their shit, they watch these games, and they go drink and fight. And I was like, but it's very it's a deep movie. Yeah.
That's cool. I think the one fight movie I can think of a little bit off script. I seen it last year, man. I never heard of it. It's called Float Like a Butterfly. And it's about a little Irish girl who she lives like almost like in the woods type shit. You know what I'm saying? Her and her family kind of like they live off grid, put it that way, right? Okay. And the Irish at this point in time, like they really believed in boxing, right? So this is like back when Muhammad Ali's was in his prime, in his 20s, 30s type, 20s type shit. And it's crazy because this little girl is watching Muhammad Ali as she's growing up. She wants to be a boxer. Well, in Ireland, at this place in point in time, that was unheard of. Like, women don't box, you know what I mean? So like she's getting into all these fights and scraps and stuff. It's a dope movie. It's a dope movie. She ends up having to fight for like her family at the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? And like her dad does not agree with her fighting, but he lets her fight at the end of the movie, and she does her little Ali shit. It's fire.
That sounds good. That sounds pretty
What's
good.
that one called?
Float Like a Butterfly.
That reminded me of another one. Have you seen $1 Million Baby?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one's
Oh,
really
yeah.
good. I think I've only seen that like maybe once or maybe twice, but I got to recheck that out. I remember that being a really good movie.
Tragic, but damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, sorry, Joey, I'm looking at the time over here, but so I'm gonna be the bearer of bad news. Samke, do you have any final questions before we have to kind of wrap up the show with the guests?
Last question for both of you guys. What makes you guys fight? What drives you to keep coming back and putting this work in?
That's all I got. That's all I'm really good at this point. I mean, like it's the only thing that I could really like pick up and start doing. It's kind of like an everyman sport. Like anybody could just pick up a pair of boxing gloves and start training. So it was kind of just an easy thing for me to get into, and I found out like, oh, I'm actually kind of good at this. So I just keep sticking with it. Hopefully, I'm gonna find my way somewhere along the way.
I've always just really feel like it's been my destiny to be a fighter. Like I've always seemed to come back to it, no matter what I'm doing.
That's true. Same here. I've always expected myself to be an athlete, and I don't know what it's going to be, but it has to be sports. Something with sports. It's the only thing I'm good at. I played football my entire life, and then after high school, I was like, I started getting fat, and I was like, fuck, what do I do now? And I started boxing, and then I just haven't looked back.
Mm-hmm.
It's in your blood. You're meant to be your warriors. No one can take that away. That's the kind of spirit that cannot be bought. Money cannot buy that shit.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
man,
dope, guys.
Ooh. I was gonna say, so before we let you go, we have to first A, get shout outs, B, social medias, and C, anything that you want to let people know that you didn't get to say on the show.
All right, Challenger, you can go first.
All right. I do have my very own YouTube channel I'd like to shout out. It is Patrick the Challenger Griffin. I started a few months back. It only has a few videos, but I would like to start putting all of my training, stretching, my last previous fights, anything fight related, start building that up. The next event, I would like to have a few shirts made and start selling those, get my brand out. And I think my end goal in all of this would be to own my own boxing gym and to pass on all the fight knowledge and help everybody out.
Hell yeah, I like that.
My turn.
Yes, sir.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram at IslandStrong209. It's just me there posting my fight highlights and shit. Me and my two boys I'm raising right now. I got a pair of twins, 2 boys, and I got a third one on the way, another boy. Yeah, that's about it. And shout out my boy Luke Nasty. He just had his first fight at this last event. He's 35. He's gonna be a problem in that division for sure. If you go through my post on the Facebook group, you can see me. He's been training with me since I've been for a long time. I call him my prodigy. So shout out Luke Nasty and be ready for Luke Nasty. That's it for me.
We appreciate you guys, man. It was a great conversation, man. Y'all have a great night.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Yes, appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Yeah. See, it's a good thing I always look at the time because I knew that we could have kept going. This was getting too much fun.
Yeah, man. That's what happens every week, bro. Every week, every time. But we got a few commercials, right?
Just a few.
Nice.
What's up, everybody? It's Jay from Yankee and the Brit bringing you some exciting news. King Palms and Yankee and the Brit are teaming up together to give you an amazing deal. Head over to kingpalm.com, use promo code KPYNB to save 20% off your entire order. That's right, 20% off your entire order just by using the promo code KPYNB. If you want to enhance your smoking experience, King Palms has you covered. Innovative designs, premium quality, and they're all natural. So make sure you go over to kingpalm.com and use the promo code KPYNB at checkout to save 20% off your entire order.
Buddy V's Fighters to Watch.
What's up, Buddy V's Fighters to Watch? This time, I'm going to do them in reverse. We're going to start off with the OG yard. Now, this one, Lim Seung. This, man, if you follow Street Beefs in any way, shape, or form, you know that there's some fighters that came over from, I want to say South Korea?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, man, they all put on a show. And this fight, when you go check him out, he does not disappoint. When people in other countries fight, like in different stuff, they definitely fight. He flowed. Just the whole fight, the way it moved. He didn't even look stressed for a second. His whole body was just constantly like flowing like water. I was like, holy shit. I need to get some of that. You know, I'm stiff after a fight. I'm like, ooh. So, yeah, please do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor and go look him up and go look at his fight. And I'm going to do some research to see if he has anything else I can go find. So, oh, yeah. Second one, from Street Beefs West Coast, we have Showman. Now, this guy, he put on one hell of a show. I believe that I saw what it was his MMA match first, and I was already just beyond impressed. And I was like, holy shit, he came out, he put some work in. Then I saw his second match coming out, and it was a boxing match. And just as that, I was like, ooh, he put in work. And I feel like Samke has something to say about this fighter. Oh. No, I thought you were saying he fought twice in the same day, right?
Yeah. He fought twice. Now, the only thing I could say is I missed his first fight. I missed his first fight, man. I went to the bathroom, came back, it was over. Yeah. So
it was something else. Sorry, something going on. And last one is Street Beef Scrapyard, Baby Hippo. Man, he definitely lives up to the name. He put a beating on. And the biggest thing was the heart. When I see, like, the biggest thing I love about seeing with these fighters when they have to dig a little bit deeper to come out and they really put on a show, when you can see something click in their head, when you see this little thing just switch over, you can see when people kind of feel out. I definitely saw this with Baby Hippo, and I was like, ooh, man, I got to see a little bit more. Those are my 3 fighters to watch.
yeah, man, those are great picks, bro. Yeah, I just remembered Showman. Now that you mentioned, I had something to say about it. Showman did come out and he showed out, man. He fought that MMA match, and like I said, it was quick. And then Terrifier, what up, brother? And then what he did, he took on a boxing match, and he did his thing against another veteran in the boxing match, and then he jumped in the Shark Tank with Big Daddy Williams, and I believe he did 2 rounds with Big Daddy Williams and gave Big Daddy Williams the toughest rounds out of everyone in the Shark Tank that day. So yeah, Showman did come and show out. Yeah, let me go ahead and give him his props.
All right. And for those of you that are curious, Baby Hippo, his first fight was against Flex. I know you all know Flex because he come out and put some work in the scrapyard. That was Baby Hippo's first fight. So, like you said, we got some good names here. We got some good names. But that's nothing compared to the knowledge you're about to get. Because you need to warm up with a little something made of fire.
Yeah, Sam K in the Fire 5. He was mentioned earlier tonight, and he's on the Fire 5. Lim Seong Tae versus Iron Jaw. We're starting things off at the OG Yard. And again, this guy came out with his team all the way from South Korea. And all these guys they put on and they showed out. And Lim Tae was no different. This was an MMA match. And yeah, this match goes from 0 to 100 real quick. It starts off with a little fill out, and then these guys go straight to a war. We saw a great display of grappling, but in the end, it was the strikes that ends the match. Again, Street Beefs OG Yard, Lim Sung Tae versus Iron Jaw, fire fight. Yeah, Street Beef Scrapyard, you see it. If you're trying to look this fight up, you'll have to type in the title you see here. This is a fight between Baby Hippo and Dad. Baby Hippo was just mentioned, and he did not disappoint in this fight. We have the great Lights Out reffing. Thank you, champ. And this was a match between a dog and then a fighter with all heart. I mean, just it was a straight clash. This was a competitive back and forth. We got a lot of exchanges between the two. We got a lot of mix of high and low attacks, and it was very entertaining and very sportsmanlike between these two. Much respect between these two. But as I always say, cardio is key. Cardio is key. Street Beef Scrapyard, Baby Hippo versus Dad, firefight. Moving on. You see it. He was in the comments. Street Beefs West Coast, we have Bricks versus El Bandido. This was a fire fight. This is a boxing masterclass, 2 technicians showing us technical work. As I just mentioned, though, cardio is key. Cardio is key. But we saw just about everything you want to see in a fire fight. I mean, we saw a lot of work coming off of the jab, feints, slips, combinations. Again, just a straight up firefight. Street Beefs West Coast, Bricks versus El Bandido, firefight. Moving on. Yeah, we got Street Beefs Dirty South in the house. If you're trying to look this fight up, you're going to have to type in what you see on the screen here. Ends with a head kick. Respect to both for stepping in. You have to type that in. This fight is between Texas versus Electric Boogaloo. They got the name a little bit off on the screen, but it's Texas versus Electric Boogaloo. We have the great Diesel reffing this fight from Street Beefs West Coast, and this is a kickboxing match. You see the timestamp. These men didn't waste no time. They got in there and they got to work. Chopping kicks to start off this match. We got a lot of mix of strikes. And then we got the phantom kick that ended it all. Street Beefs Dirty South, Texas versus Electric Boogaloo, firefight. And last but not least, we're going to swing on back to Street Beefs West Coast. You see it. Title match, The Maniac versus Mike 102. Yes, 2 because this was a title match, but also a rematch. What can I say, man? This is a 5-round war between 2 gritty, battle-tested fighters. We had a clash of 2 different styles. And once more, we got to see pressure applied from one fighter, and then we got to see the tricky the tricky intellect from the other fighter. A lot of back and forth momentum. This fight had everything you wanted to see. It was controversial. It was entertaining. And in the end, we got a crazy, violent finish. Street Beefs, West Coast, The Maniac versus Mike 102, Sam K and the Fire 5.
Hell yeah. Straight fire, man. Straight fire.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Man, no, that was a fun show. I had a good time. We got some good picks, good fighters to watch. Some fights that I'm going to watch after the show. And Yeah. I don't know. It's a fun
Yeah,
time
man.
Tuesday.
As always, bro. As always, man. It was definitely a fun time, and these guys didn't disappoint. You know, again, we're here to support. If you guys could hit the like button, hit the share button, as well as hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And check out our two guests tonight, man. Island Strong and the Challenger. Again, Street Beefs Dirty South. They're on the up and come up. If you guys can go to their YouTube channel, Street Beefs Dirty South, subscribe, check out all their fights. They've been dropping a lot of fights lately, as well as you can see the Challenger. And then Street Beefs West Coast. You'll see all of Island Strong's fights. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Because what's you're gonna get? You're gonna get some new fighters that you want to check out and watch more fights to show off. And then one day you might run into them and be like, "What? I know all your fights. I've seen all this. And you know how cool it'd be to be like, you might get an autograph, a photo.
Or you might end up fighting that guy. You never know. You never know what it might be. You know what I'm saying? But you want to be prepared. Go check out the fights. You know? Shoot. But it's about that time, don't you think?
About that time.
Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and get the shout outs out the way. Definitely want to thank our guests tonight. Island Strong, appreciate you, brother. The Challenger, appreciate you, brother. Again, everyone in the comment section, everyone who's watching us live, watching us on playback. We do this for y'all. We appreciate y'all. Again, hit that like button for us. Hit the subscribe if you aren't already. And I want to thank OG Yard, Scrap Yard, West Coast, and Dirty South. We do this for you guys. If you guys are trying to catch me, I'm here every Tuesday, same time, same place. And Overtime Hustling Magazine, we appreciate the love from you guys. Heart and Fight, we appreciate the love from you guys. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me. I want to thank Buddy V. I want to thank Jay. And yeah.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Zuel, my company, and down right here, Zuel-World.com, where you could find the MMA Underground merch that you could go and support. You want to rock it. Stay tuned, because I know when the spring collection comes out, I'm going to be putting out some discount codes exclusively in different areas for different shit. But here on MMA Underground, we'll get the best one. So, you want to stay tuned. Oh, hell yeah. Now, with that being said, next week, if you tune in, or when you tune in, I should say, you're going to find the new Zuel logo that's going to pop up. I got to get that to Jay. But if you follow my social medias like I tell you to, or you go to the website like I tell you to, you'll see the new Zuel Jaguar that's up all over everywhere. It's so fun. It took me a long time to figure out, and it's some things have changed, but definitely is worth it. Yeah, you're gonna see some new fun stuff for springtime. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled. I'm already almost done working on everything. Photo shoots are in work. I got a couple commercials I'm about to film here too, so you're about to see a lot come out. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. So thank you, Somke. Always a fun time every Tuesday. Jay, heck yeah. And yeah, to every single person that watched today, thank you very much. So in Jay's famous words, one world, one love, deuces.